Hello, and welcome back to Exit Music for a Film, a podcast breaking down some of Hollywood's most recent releases. I'm Ken Perry.
And I'm Phil Bittner.
And today we're discussing Chloe Zhao's latest, Nomadland, starring Frances McDermott and now available for streaming on Hulu. All right, Phil, Nomadland, what'd you think?
I liked it a lot more than I thought I was gonna. Going into it, everything you said about how much critical acclaim it's already getting, how it's a front runner for a bunch of Oscars, I kind of expected another boring Ken movie. And
Jesus Christ.
As the movie kind of started, I was expecting a less survivalist Into the Wild, which the survivalist part of is mainly what I liked about Into the Wild. So I wasn't very excited, but yeah, it's really good. It It had a bunch of aspects that had appeal to me, like the whole counterculture part, like growing up going to punk shows and stuff. That's something I've always kind of had an appreciation for. And then I kind of expected it to have a lot of what I feel like a lot of those Oscar movies have, where it's just overly positive. Again, like with music and stuff, I tend to prefer negative art, for lack of a better term. I feel like, because I think that a lot of those movies that are like slice of life, they end up being overly positive to the point of intellectual dishonesty. And this movie didn't really do that. It, the moments that were dark, it didn't pull back on it. And it didn't turn into like that bullshit, like everything is garbage, but look at the sunrise. Everything's good. So, yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah, it wasn't as Oscar baity as you thought it was, basically, huh?
yeah, that's a good, in summary, what I expected.
Right, absolutely. So this was wonderful to finally see after, it getting pushed back with, everything going on last year. And we knew about this movie. We knew it was getting a lot of attention coming out of the festival circuit and everything. And I was excited about it, just didn't know for months when or where we were going to be able to see it. It was with virtual screenings going on that were tied to the festivals, like I was saying, but apparently it was streamable for like 10 days somewhere, and then they didn't know when it was going to come out, and finally it was exciting when I just turned on Hulu and it was sitting on my front page. I was like, oh shit, here we go, it's here.
Something
I could
happened
actually
last
watch
year.
this movie. What's that?
Something happened last year.
Yeah, something. We'll talk off. We'll talk off air. So yeah, I agree with you. It was I really enjoyed the movie as well. It was just like a humanistic story, very much. Sad, very sad. It was slow but not boring. It just had a really naturalistic feel to it. My favorite part of it was just like the settings, like seeing them out in the Badlands and just traveling everywhere. The actual settings that Chloe Zhao did a really good job with that. That was the coolest part for me. It was just like physically seeing all seeing America. We got taken on a tour of the American West ourselves as the viewers.
And my favorite part was the chick with all the Morrissey tattoos.
Yeah, oh yeah, right.
No, that was actually one of the parts that when that happened, I was like, oh no, what am I about to watch?
Yeah, that came pretty early on, right. Yeah, just seeing her live in a van after the 2008 economic crisis, man, that was rough to see. I think this was probably a hard part to cast, but no one better, honestly, than Frances McDermott, man. She rules. She's just the greatest. She's the best actor. she the best actress we have? Like, god damn it,
Yeah, she
she's
was
incredible.
really good in this.
Yeah, she's up there, man. In the ranks of best we have. The movie was like about, in my opinion, like this was about like connectedness to the world, connectedness to strangers, and just like the people we meet in our travels, and that's always a really cool story. I'm always down for a good just like road trip movie, and it's always a little bit more interesting when it's focused on a single character.
Yeah, um, it did, and they did a good job for like most of the characters that she crossed paths with were pretty briefly in there, other than like maybe Dave. But
Yeah,
they did a good job of like making you feel somewhat a connection to those characters in a very short time.
right. Yeah, you're invested, in the 10 minutes, 5 minutes they were on the screen. We got bummed when Swanky died.
Yeah. Was she also the one that had the basically the plan to kill herself?
I thought that was another chick.
I thought so too. It was her name maybe Rhonda.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I did kind of lose track of names, but
Yeah,
even that one though, like when she was talking about her plan to die and how she's like made her peace with it, and she describes like a scene that she saw in nature that at that moment she was having seen that she could die, she had seen the best thing she was gonna see.
right. That was an incredible part of that movie.
The most upsetting part
Can you
was when she
imagine?
didn't take that dog with her.
Oh yeah, I know. I couldn't believe that happened.
That pissed me off early. I was like, oh man, fuck this movie.
Yeah, it just shows how distraught she was. She's like, "There's no way I could even take care of this animal."
Yeah.
That was an early bummer and just showed how rough things were. Yeah,
And much like
audiences
Jon
did not
Snow,
like
she
that,
didn't
I'm
even really
sure.
pet it.
Yeah, well, she didn't want to get attached. I would do the same thing. I'm like, no, I can't look at you, dude. I'm sorry. But I was surprised. I had the question. I'm sure everyone did. Like, were these actors or like real nomads? And apparently, some of them were
Really?
real nomad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Apparently, some of them were. Yeah. So that was very interesting. I could never imagine, living like that. I'm so such an organized, live by a schedule person. I could never. I mean, I know it's not always, certainly by choice and everything, but man, what a life to live. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I I lived in a Toyota Echo for a while, but not quite like this.
Yeah, I didn't know if you touch on it or what. I think this is the perfect episode. That's wild.
Yeah.
Ugh. How long was that?
Just a couple weeks.
Hey,
And then got a job at Jimmy John's and moved into my buddy's house.
shit. So you know
Yeah.
what it is. You lived a nomad life.
Yeah. Yeah, just traveling all through the Quad City area.
Could have made this about you and just did the Quad Cities as opposed to the American West
Yeah. Yeah,
on a micro scale.
I ventured from downtown to the West End. As far as East Moline.
That's right, man. Yeah. So this was. It was interesting. It's interesting to start seeing, movies in reaction to things that have happened. So in such the, so so close to the past. This was just 2008. I was just like starting college when all this shit was going down. It's so weird that we're getting movies about stuff that's 10 years ago and everything.
Yeah, alright, it's kind of crazy how much, our early adult life is gonna, and how much of it's gonna be in history books.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just, them showing like the Amazon seasonal hiring practices and everything. I was surprised that they didn't make it look like a more of a negative and showed it as more of an opportunity for Fern and all those those people. Just they kind of sidestepped the political or the social conversation there. And I was surprised they were so willing to just show the logos and the name right up front. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it's Amazon. It's the biggest, company we have. They employ thousands upon thousands of seasonal workers. But I wasn't sure when they started that. Wasn't sure if they were going to go in a more negative narrative or not.
And the irony of how many people will watch this on Amazon Prime.
Hulu, actually, and that was the.
No,
that
I
was
mean,
the
but
strange.
eventually, like.
Oh, they'll purchase. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm surprised. Why didn't I don't know if they were, I guess this was at the festivals. Why didn't Amazon Prime step up to buy this movie?
Yeah.
Maybe they did feel some type of way. I don't know. But speaking of the streaming and everything, I think the accessibility is good for this movie, especially with it being one of the major Oscar contenders. So I guess we shall see. Hulu has it, I think it's still on their front page. I think like just the other day it was still up there as their main thing they're focusing on. But I think just that accessibility is good. I think, so many people are going to get to see it. And in turn, it's going to get a lot of Oscar support and Oscar buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about the Oscar chances for this? I'm seeing definitely a Best Picture nomination. Most certainly Frances McDormand will be nominated for Best Actress, which I would think she'd probably win. I can't really think of the competition off by heart right now, but I would certainly believe that. What's that?
King Kong, Best Actor.
Best Actress, King Kong.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Isn't Godzilla a woman?
I don't think so.
I know Godzilla was a female in the 2000 one with Matthew Broderick. 98, I think, actually, not 2000. Anyways, we don't need to talk about that movie.
I was just going to say, leave it to this podcast about Nomadland that 2000's Godzilla is definitely just going to make its fucking way into this conversation. I'd probably screenplay. I bet screenplay it'll be nominated for best screenplay, but I'd say almost Frances McDormand's probably almost a lock. I'd have to look at the list, but I'd be surprised. And she's been there before. She just won for 3 Billboards not too long ago, and I think she has another one. I'm not sure, maybe for Fargo, but yeah, man, I think this is going to be a big contender up there with Mank and some of the others. I guess we'll see. But I could say one thing for sure. I think this is the best movie that we've reviewed in 2021, for sure.
Yeah, this is our first one this year, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's also the best movie we've done since I've been a host, because the only other one was Mank, and that movie was fucking terrible.
Dude, you're getting all the big Oscar contenders. What are you complaining about? Coming down the line here, we're gonna be doing Mortal Kombat and Godzilla. Oh man.
Mank was single-handedly why I wasn't excited to watch this until about a half hour in, where I was like, okay, this is pretty good.
That's why this is a good match here. You bring Godzilla, and I bring Mank, and we'll meet in the middle for a lively conversation. But getting back to it, man, I really did like, it was a story about real things and real people, I guess, was what really stuck with me, and just the fact that thinking about people do in fact, live like this even today.
Yeah, and they kept it convincing.
It was very convincing. Like I said, a very naturalistic feel. It felt very real. Felt like a real movie. Like we were watching real people, which we were with these some of these nomads not being trained actors and everything. Um, and again, yeah, just the for someone who hasn't traveled the West very much, I loved seeing all the they couldn't add enough of those just shots of the you know the land and everything, the beautiful setting of the American West. Seeing that, I could have watched another half hour of just that shit.
And that's another thing I like about it too, is as far as like accessibility, um not like accessibility as in the fact it's Hulu, but like for people to watch it and be able to enjoy it. It's only like 107 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. They didn't overdo it. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, they
This was
got
like
in, told a story that honestly they could have done, like you said, it's the classic Seinfeld thing. Leave it. I don't know about wanting more, but certainly like could have taken more.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the runtime on it was like perfect. I think a lot of people, if they give, not everyone's, avid movie fans and ready for this to drop it, and everything. But I think a lot of people will be interested in viewing this movie. I think it's more for the general public than people would think, because this is like fringing on a documentary.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and
it really is.
yeah, and if this was a documentary, that came out on Hulu, Netflix, I think a lot of people would be, this is something a lot of people would be talking about and it would gain a lot of hype. So I think that yeah, with the accessibility of it being on Hulu and everything, I think people are probably giving it a shot. I mean, Frances McDermott is one of our most acclaimed actresses. She's one of the best in the game. I think a lot of just everyday people could get behind this movie. You don't have to be a film freak. This is in Mank, and I think it's just a great tale. Chloe Zhao did a great job. How weird is it that Chloe Zhao directed this and now later down the line is doing the Eternals? Do you ever put the same director in that? That's so weird.
Yeah, they're very different. I can't wait for the
Yeah.
crossover.
I said it. I said it last time. I think she's an early favorite for the Eggs and Music's Person of the Year award that we need to come up with a better name for. So she's the early favorite here. We'll have to see how Eternal pans out. Anything else? Sorry, guys.
Oh no,
Anything else you'd like to touch on for Nomadland?
uh one scene I really liked. I really liked how they wrapped this up after Swanky's funeral with Fern and Bob just talking. And I really liked the kind of clashing of philosophies of her believing like what's remembered lives on and kind of holding on. And then him, and I get the sense that it was supposed to be like kind of a paradigm shift for her with his "I'll see you down the road."
Yeah.
And just talking about how, he, for him, it's whether it's in this life or the next, he can always just be confident that he's always going to cross paths with people again. And that keeps him kind of going when he's missing someone. I just thought that was a good way to wrap this movie up with those two clashing philosophies.
You're absolutely right. That's actually the scene stealer there. That was like the best scene in the movie and a perfect way to wrap the movie up. That was just good stuff.
Although I would have preferred like a post-credit scene where she goes back for that dog. But
yeah, why not?
She'll see that dog down the road, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. And we will see our audience down the road too. Nomadland is now streaming on Hulu. So guys, go check it out. And we will be back in a minute to talk about the new trailer that dropped for Mortal Kombat. All right, guys, we're back. And we both just rewatched the trailer for Mortal Kombat. We're going to do something new here we haven't done before. We're just going to discuss the new trailer that just dropped this week. After just watching this, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm real excited.
Yeah, you're real excited now?
Yeah, I don't know. They getting stabbed with a blood icicle. I was sold
That
there.
was fucking. We both just at the same time went. That was fucking sick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely.
I've never been a huge Mortal Kombat guy. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember all of us watching the movies and shit.
We were obsessed. Me and your cousins.
It's really just I'm not a big fan of fighting games. I think
Yep.
they're kind of boring. I've always thought Mortal Kombat was cool as shit, but like, and also I know like if you get into the games, that story gets so fucking ridiculous by the time they
Oh.
get to like Mortal Kombat 6 and up.
Yes.
But
Yes, you could say that again.
yeah, so I'm not even too up with the characters anymore. As I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I remember this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think that's just they're going off the traditional shit.
Yeah, but it looks like they made a movie where even if you're not into Mortal Kombat, it's gonna be awesome.
Right. It looks like honestly just an update on the old movie. But look, for this something like this, I'm not expecting your favorite movie of all time, Mank. I'm not expecting Mank out of this. All I can ask for here is updated graphics and heavy violence, like actual fatalities, which I feel like we're gonna get out of this. I
Yeah,
think the people want it. I think we're gonna see it. I mean, the Sub-Zero stuff looks awesome, like we just both commented on him pulling off Jax's arms. That was awesome. That's right out of the video game. Blood Icicle was the high point. It just the violence seems on point, man, and go into it not expecting much out of the acting or the story or anything. We know what to expect, and I just want to have a good time, and it looks like it's going to be a good time.
yeah. As
Right.
someone who thinks that They Live and Sudden Death are fighting it out for the two greatest movies of all time, I'm real excited about it.
Yeah, this should certainly be in your wheelhouse, and I thought it would be more than it initially was when we reviewed our most anticipated of the year. Anyways, Mortal Kombat is going to drop into, I don't know, our screens off of HBO Max it'll be because it's a Warner Brothers title.
Yeah,
It's going to drop on HBO Max on April 16th, and my fiance will be super annoyed that I'm going to watch it like immediately and maybe twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be discussing that in the foreseeable future. So look out for it. For I'm Ken Perry. This has been Exit Music for a Film. Guys, keep watching movies. All right, guys. We're actually back. We road tripped around the country, and we're already back to you here.
who would have thought that an episode about Nomadland would be me holding it together?
That's right, man. Well, hey, man, you're just so much more in touch with the episode content. Guys, we're back to break down. We've meant to do this with the new year upon us. We're going to be bringing you top fives related to every movie we highlight. And we're back here with our top 5 road trip movies. Phil, I gave you, going along with my forgetfulness, I forgot to tell you we're doing this till just this morning. So, how did making this list go for you?
Well, I was playing Witcher 3, and I can see my DVD case from where I sit to play, and I just kind of peeked over and got liberal with the term road trip.
All right, sounds good. Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, well, so first I actually just now looked again, and I changed it. My number 5 was gonna be Wrist Cutters. Have you seen that?
Nope.
Oh,
No
this
idea.
is I think this is actually right up your alley. Guy's girlfriend breaks up with him. He kills himself, and he goes to this afterlife that is for people who committed suicide. And
Okay.
it's just kind of quirky. It's really good. I had also considered Safety Not Guaranteed, but it didn't end up making the list. Another really good one on Netflix. And Wrist Cutters is on Amazon Prime.
Okay, how does Wrist Cutters? Where's the road trip aspect fit into this?
So while he's there, he finds out that his ex-girlfriend that he had killed himself over is also there.
Okay.
And they kind of go through a journey, and Um, yeah, it's also got a lot of Gogol Bordello in the soundtrack, which is a nice touch. But yeah,
I feel like that's good music for a road trip movie.
yeah, it really is. And this one you definitely have to watch. Of all the movies I've told you lately that you should watch, this one might be like top of the list. It's also a good movie to watch with your girlfriend.
Oh, wonderful. All right, sounds good. It's to me.
So that was gonna be my number 5, but I decided to replace
we
it with
top 5. So once again, honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So okay, what's your 5 then?
No Country for Old Men.
Oh shit, good one.
Yeah.
Good one, but at 5. Fantastic. Best picture winner. One of the top Coen bros for me, and for fucking everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
What do you love about this one?
It takes a lot to have a movie with so little dialogue be so gripping.
Hell yeah.
And it's not particularly short. But it's just so fucking good.
Really, really, really good. Javier Bardem's incredible in it. One of the best villains in recent history, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Very creepy, like you said, such little dialogue, but just so gripping.
Well, and the scene with him and that gas station clerk is just so
It's my
tense.
favorite scene. That's what I was going to highlight.
So good.
Absolutely. Very, very, very good pick. Did you read the book?
No, I own the book, but haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
I found it for like $2 at a Salvation Army, and I've been meaning to read it for like 8 years now.
Yeah, Cormac McCarthy's incredible, man. I love The Road, and I got a couple of his coming up that I have to read, and that's certainly up there along with Blood Meridian.
Oh, he wrote The Road too?
Yeah.
That's the one they have the movie about, right?
Right, yeah, the book's incredible.
Nice. Yeah, I need to check that out.
Check out some Cormac McCarthy. All right.
The Road might have made the list if I had thought about that.
Some of the best, 2 of the best directors of all time here. I'm going to flip the switch here, and my number 5 is Road Trip, starring Tom Green, Sean William Scott, and the other dude. Oh, man. Damn it, what's that guy's name? He's in all the... Okay, we'll say Amy Smart's in it too, and Andy Dick. Great road trip movie, man. We were obsessed with this movie when we were, younger, adolescents. A lot of nudity, a lot of just really funny shit. DJ Qualls is great in it. This is like his first movie from The New Guy and stuff like that. This is just a really raunchy comedy that came out at the right time for us. Guy accidentally cheats on his girlfriend, makes a sex tape, and sends it to his girlfriend at college in Austin, Texas.
Was Breckin Meyer who you were trying to think of?
Breckin Meyer, thank you so much. That was the main character. That's it.
I can't believe I haven't seen this
guy
movie.
That was in Can't Hardly Wait. But yes, Breckin Meyer's the lead in it. Yeah, him and Breckin Meyer and his buddies race against time to get to University of Austin to retrieve the tape of him cheating on his girlfriend before she sees it. Good stuff. And Tom Green gives Amy Smart the wrong directions and tells him they're going to the University of Austin in Massachusetts, which she thinks they're going to Boston, so she heads to Boston while she should be heading to Austin, Texas. Just a lot of funny, gross shit in this movie that came out at the right time for my adolescence, and it's just a favorite amongst our friend group for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'll love it.
I think I've seen this movie, but I'm not sure.
You've had to have and rewatch it, because I'm looking to rewatch it. I don't know why it's not. I mean, it might be somewhere, but it's just in the vein of the American Pies and all that, all those movies. But it's
that's why I'm not sure. Is so many of those movies kind of bleed together to me. But like now that I have it up on IMDb, I think I have seen this.
You've seen it, and I want to rewatch it. Yeah, Road Trip's my official number 5. Back to you with 4.
Well, this is one of the ones where I'm really stretching the word road trip. There's no cars in it, but they are traveling a lot on roads. Book of Eli.
Hey, that's yeah, yeah, for sure.
And actually, if I hadn't thought of No Country for Old Men, that would be higher than some of the ones that I'm gonna add, or that I have here. But I added that last, so this isn't necessarily in order. Yeah, Book of Eli's great.
I don't know what you got coming, but the fact that No Country wasn't number 1, yeah. And I didn't think of that one as a road trip movie. So
yeah, I didn't think of No Country until like as you were building us up to this, and I happened to see it out of the corner of my eye on the shelf.
It went straight to the top. Okay, Book of Eli, speak on it.
So I love the Fallout games for one, and this has a lot of a Fallout feel. It's not the greatest movie ever. I don't know why like the sun burned so hot and bright that it like destroyed most of the world, but all people really need is goggles and they're fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really entertaining. Gary Oldman, who seems to play villains in everything, is a good villain in here. As not being a huge fan of religion, the whole message of it about, it's not like a anti-religion movie, but the whole message of how a lot of people use religion to do evil shit, I really like.
Yep.
And yeah, like I said, it's just really entertaining.
Yeah, a solid apocalypse movie type thing.
Yeah.
Your favorite Gary Oldman, you know what he didn't play a villain in?
Batman.
Mank.
Yeah.
Always got to bring it back to Mank, dude.
And The Firm, not the Tom Cruise one, the English one with the hooligans, which I just watched the other day. He's kind of a piece of shit, but he's not a villain.
I love Gary Oldman, man. He's so good. All right, number 4, Natural Born Killers.
I have that on my list. Yep.
All right, we'll save it for up the list. Back to you.
I'll just make it number 3 so that we can just do this now.
Let's do it. Let's do it now. You had it higher. I'll defer to you.
It's for one just one of the first movies that popped into my head when I thought of road trip movies.
Same here.
All the stylized violence, so much. Even though he wrote it, so it's not a surprise. So much Quentin Tarantino DNA for a movie that he didn't direct.
Absolutely, he might as well have.
I haven't seen it, but right now everyone is going crazy about WandaVision, which I haven't gotten around to watching yet, and I feel like there's probably a lot of DNA from this movie in that too. I guess I'm just thinking of the beginning with her dad and how it's kind of like a sitcom when he shows up and kills her family.
Right. Yeah. For that little piece of it, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I don't really know what to expect from WandaVision too much. I just, just the way everyone described WandaVision, the first thing that popped into my head was that scene where it's kind of like a sitcom, and that's had me thinking about this movie a lot, so that's kind of, I think, why it popped into my head right away for a road trip movie.
Okay. Yeah, for that little scene, I get what you're saying there. Guys, if you haven't watched WandaVision and you have Disney Plus, I don't know what you're doing. It's fantastic. I didn't expect much from it at all, but it's awesome. I'm loving it. I think that's the general consensus. Yeah. So you brought up this stylized violence, and obviously it's in the Tarantino family tree there, though directed by the great Oliver Stone. It's just a really good movie. Going with the road trip aspect, it's those guys on the run through the whole movie, which kind of lends itself to a whole nother little subgenre there. But yeah, it's a fantastic road trip movie, and I'm just in fear of anyone that crosses Mickey and Mallory's paths throughout the whole movie. Fucking super violent. I love the jail riot scene. It's incredible. And Woody Harrelson, man, for such a lovable, awesome actor, man, he's actually terrifying in this.
Woody Harrelson tends to play a lot of like, for being a guy that everyone loves, he plays a scumbag so well. Like
Yeah, he really does.
Zombieland.
True Detective.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Fuck.
I
Oh,
know.
God damn. Thank God we're not doing a TV podcast, man. I swear to God. Hey, guys, everyone, Phil's finally started The Sopranos, so
And I'm already almost halfway through it.
good shit. Okay, so True Detective season 1, Nothing Else Matters. Do that shit. Both of those guys are incredible in it. But yeah, back to Woody Harrelson. Yeah, he's for someone you love. He's terrifying in this, man. It's definitely, I would say it's his. I haven't seen everything he's been in. I've seen a lot of it. He's definitely one of my all-time favorites. But
And he's a sympathetic bad guy, kind of in War of the Planet of the Apes.
yeah, true.
I love those movies.
Nothing like this, man. Yeah, Mickey's horrifying in this movie, and he seems like he's just capable of the absolute worst. And Juliette Lewis was very solid too. And shout out to the fucked up Rodney Dangerfield cameo there, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. So that was your 3, right?
Yep.
All right, number 3 for me. I think you might have it as well. Possibly you mentioned it earlier. Into the Wild.
Yeah, that almost made the list, but I knew I'd be mentioning it earlier in the episode,
right.
So I just laid off of it.
If there's any movie that can be compared to Nomadland, with similarity, it's certainly this one. True story. This dude just goes to basically live off the land, right? I mean, I haven't rewatched it in quite some years, but is that what he's looking to do? Is he making a documentary, or is he?
No, he
just decides to live off the land, or?
Yeah, well, he was like a good college student and everything, and he just kind of almost misanthropic, just got sick of everything and just wanted to explore. And
yeah.
I think a lot of it was just to see if he could do it.
Right.
Really interesting character. And Emil Hirsch kills it playing him.
Yeah, I really like Emil Hirsch. Yeah, this was great. It's almost like seeing, how much we are using without needing it. Just going the route of minimalism. I really liked. I really like this. The fact that it's a true story makes a movie even that much more interesting. I need a rewatch of this, and I wanna watch it with Kaylee. I think she'll really like this one.
And people need to stop fucking going to see that bus. So many people have died trying to go see that bus.
Right, that's right. Where is it? It's like
Alaska.
It's yeah, right. And people have died going to see where that bus is. Is it still there to this day? Do they say?
I think they might have finally moved the bus because of people trying to go see it, but I'm not sure.
And dying, yeah. But it was there. It was there for years where he lived. He lived out of a small bus. Very interesting. And then, what did he eventually die of? Do you remember?
He ate something that poisoned him with the paralysis.
Poison berries, right?
He wasn't thorough enough with the book. It was something about the veins in the leaves were different. They were similar plants.
Good call. Yeah, I need to rewatch this one. This was a fantastic movie. Very, very similar to Nomadland. So anyone that was blown away by Nomadland and wants to watch something similar, Into the Wild, very, very similar. Very, very good movie.
I actually rewatched it right at the beginning of quarantine because I got a 3-month trial with Stars to watch Black Sails. I actually remember because Miranda had a Zoom meeting about work and plans on what was going on, and I was watching Black Sails during the meeting, started it, and then we watched Into the Wild that night because I was excited when I saw it was there because I knew it'd be right up her alley, which is why I'll be rewatching Nomadland to watch it with her too.
Right. Yeah, it's on one of the streamers now. I just don't know which one. I'll just say I think it's HB. It's either HBO Max or Prime. It's one of the two, but I see it on there and I pass it by. I think I'm like, oh, I gotta get on rewatching this one here. But okay, yeah, Into the Wild at number three. Phil, you're number two.
This is one of the most me answers possible. Not a specific
Oh,
movie, but the Mad Max franchise.
okay. I thought about it. All right, it's confession time. Massive blind spot for me. I've only seen Fury Road.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I love these movies. I actually the first one is probably the one I like the least. But
There's
yeah,
how
Road
many?
Warrior, Thunderdome. There's
There three
four.
plus.
There's three with Mel Gibson. There's Mad Max, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, and then I think it's Beyond Thunderdome is the third one. It's something with Thunderdome. I just refer to it as Thunderdome.
It's not just Thunderdome. Okay, so there's three plus Fury
And
Road,
then
right?
yeah, and they
Okay.
are working on. I think it's going to be a movie, but Charlize Theron's character Furiosa. But I think it's going to be her younger. I think it's a different actor is going to be playing her, and it's kind of
Yeah,
like an origin story.
there's another installment in the works, and how could there not be with the massive success that movie had, and rightfully so. I watched this with your cousin. Usually we're gonna watch this movie. I'm just very I always have my guard up with action movies. I'm just like whatever. These never, they extremely rarely do it for me to where I'm, super into it. Like, all right, whatever. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. That's fine. We'll watch this. Fury Road does not stop the whole fucking time. It's just one long action scene, and it blew me away. It was so fun. It's the funnest movie to come out in a long time, dude.
And that's kind of all of them. I had seen these movies when I was a kid, and I loved them back then. And then I kind of had a Mad Max renaissance when I was taking a film class online, and one of the things was there was a list of movies that we got to pick what we watched, and Mad Max was on the list. And obviously that was my choice.
Yeah,
And it was just like write an essay about the movie afterwards, and yeah, I did that. I watched that one for homework, and then immediately watched the next three. That was not long after that. There's the video game, which I actually am in the middle of another playthrough right now. I've been taking a break from it for Witcher. Fun game, really repetitive, not worth getting into. Uh, and then yeah, Fury Road came out, loved it. I also think it's hilarious that before Fury Road, is it George Martin is the director?
I think so. Yeah.
The last movie he had done before Fury Road was Babe 2, Pig in the City, which just missed my list.
Really? Wait, so the director of Babe 2 directed Fury Road?
All the Mad Max movies.
Holy shit. Okay.
He took a long
Interesting.
break and came out of retirement after Babe 2, Pig in the City for Mad
I
Max
think
Fury
that,
Road.
I think that's even weirder than our Chloe Zhao Nomadland Eternals.
Yeah.
I think that takes the cake, that one. So yeah, I guess I have to jump on these early Mad Maxes. Kind of the same deal, just like nonstop action, same type of
Yeah, more or less. Real weird characters.
yeah.
It's just so good. They're so just mindless entertainment.
Yeah, I know. At least the first one's on Netflix and on my queue right now. I almost started it not long ago, but I'll have to prioritize at least the first one and see if I want to continue on.
I've been trying to get Miranda to watch Road Warrior since it's been on there, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to watch that on my own time.
Uh,
I also own them all on DVD, but
okay, cool. Yeah, I'll make that a priority for sure because I feel like that's a pretty major blind spot at this point. No, it's not it's not Citizen Kane or anything, but yeah, I want to see them for sure. All right, coming up to that was your number two. Now my number two. I chose Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Blind spot for me. Haven't seen it.
No way.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Commitment time. Within the next month for March, I'm gonna watch Mad Max, and you're gonna watch Fear and Loathing at some point.
See, I think the thing for me with Fear and Loathing was that, like when you're younger, it's kind of hard to sit down and sit through a whole movie. And then when I
Right.
got to the age, like, basically in my teens of watching a lot of movies, I really mostly just watched horror and action.
Yeah.
That's why I've missed. There's a lot of the popular comedies from when, like Road Trip, like that era of comedies. I have missed a lot of them. I haven't seen Super Troopers, and I think
Shit.
the
Wow.
age that I was only really watching horror and action, and the occasional comedy is around the age that most people would have watched this movie.
I figured, man, Super Troopers is just so in your wheelhouse. That's unbelievable. But Fear and Loathing, I mean, it's with all like the crazy, psychedelics and seeing the like people with the tails and stuff. I'm surprised you never sat down to watch it. It's a trippy movie. Hunter S. Thompson. It's like basically based on true events and stuff. Read the book, guys. If you've seen the movie, don't bother reading the book, or vice versa. It's literally like tit for tat the same thing. It's not worth it one way or the other. I mean, I guess take 2 hours to watch a movie, but don't if you're someone that likes to read a chapter a day, don't bother. Like reading the book is the same exact thing. It's basically like the script. But you know about it at least, right? You're aware like the story.
Yeah, and the fact that I at one point wanted to be a journalist is another reason I don't like admitting that I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah.
But
He was a wild dude, man. I just watched the documentary on his life, and it was actually really good. I think it was on Amazon Prime. It's called like Gonzo something. I forget what it is, but yeah, it was really good documentary, and this is just a fun movie, man. Watch Fear and Loathing ASAP. Just the psychedelics taking hold. Johnny Depp's so animated in this; he's really funny. Benicio del Toro. When I went back after I knew who Benicio del Toro was, I realized this is him in this movie being like a big buffoon. It was really funny to see. So just all in all, like a fun movie, and just like a super just creative movie, I guess you could say. Who directed this? I don't know if it's anyone of note, but yeah, just a solid watch for sure. You'll be entertained. All right, we're up to our number ones. All right, you're laughing already. I feel it. Oh boy.
So to me, the
What do we
spirit
got?
of a road trip, it's about seeing new places, meeting new people, and making friends along the way. So we're gonna stretch a little bit, and with those in mind, my favorite road trip movie is Star Wars.
All right, I debated it. I almost also put I initially had 2001: A Space Odyssey as my top, but I figured I'd keep it to our planet alone. But I'll fucking let it slide for
Oh, I expected us to be a lot further away on this. So
one of the top 10 greatest movies of all time. I'll let it slide. I don't know what there really is to say here. Hope you've all seen Star Wars.
I don't
ahead.
think anyone that listens to movie podcasts hasn't seen Star Wars.
Be the biggest blind spot of all time, probably. Let's talk about the ships and the actual travel through space, I guess. Guess that's the way we'll go. And I guess to bring anything to this conversation, I'll just say, I mean, I don't want to harp on this when we're talking about the Holy Trilogy, but I did just finally get to watch that Solo movie. And, I mean, it was pretty shit.
That's the only one that I can't really say I've seen because I dozed off for a good amount of it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Once again, pretty shit.
Yeah.
What's your Okay, so we're gonna get through this. All right, what's your favorite ship? Millennium Falcon?
It's gotta be.
I love the Slave One, dude. I'm a Boba Fett guy. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might be right there. I guess it gets so little screen time.
Yeah, it's the weirdest shaped ship of all time. I think. I don't even know what to compare that to, but it's just cool. I
Yeah.
want to buy a little. I want to buy a little figurine of it, but then I feel like I'm gonna. If I start buying more Boba Fett figurines, I feel like I'm gonna not get married probably.
I I
Bit of a
have
conundrum.
wanted to get like the Lego sets of all the ships, but Miranda's not really for it.
Yeah. So our buddy Connor's a big Lego head, and I thought he was joking with me like the whole time. And we went to see Avengers, and he was talking about how excited he was to then go and pick up the Avengers Lego sets. And then he went through with it. He got in line and actually paid for it, and we went back home. And I went into a room, and I've never seen so many Legos from someone that was over 10 years old. He's legit. He's legit real into Legos, and I fucking love it.
I have bought a lot of Legos for my nephew. He'll be turning 10 in about a month and a half.
Yeah, well, when he's done with those, send them Connor's way, all right? Shout out to Connor and his Legos. All right, yeah, man. Good call, I guess. And I guess I could take back the fact that No Country for Old Men should be number one if you have Star Wars at number one.
Like I said,
Great.
No Country was just because it popped up right there, and I didn't think to put it deeper in the list. It
Right.
definitely would have been ahead of Book of Eli.
Okay, give us something about the travels in Star Wars. I mean, hyperspace is awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the planets, man. What's like, I mean, the desert planets are kind of boring at this point. Tatooine, Jakku, Hoth was always really cool. I'm an
Hoth
advocate for.
and the Mos Eisley spaceport.
Yes, that one's great. Hoth's awesome. I'm an advocate of Empire being the best.
Yep.
Being this, and all true fans are. All the real ones know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah, I'll take it. You're good call. I was gonna do 2001, and I decided to step off. I thought I'd throw you off, but apparently that's not the case.
Oh,
All
I'm
right, you
here
win.
for it.
You win for the best number one. All right. I hate to not finish on Star Wars, but for my number one, I chose 2000's James Cameron's Almost Famous. Just a
Ooh,
good
that's a
old
good
rock
one.
and roll. And god damn it, I didn't hype it up before revealing. I just brought this thing full circle, baby. After I was a shitty host all this whole time, forgot this whole segment, I just brought this podcast full circle. Because the kid's mother in this movie, Frances McDermott.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Great. She's great in this movie as well. I mean, she's not one of the main characters. She kind of is, but she's just a very worried mother of young William, who I don't think he's in much more stuff now.
No.
But it's just a good movie. The band's really believable as just a like 70s band in it with Billy Crudup and Jason Lee. I think
What
their
were they
names
called
like
again? Stillwater?
Stillwater, man. I'm impressed you remember that because I had to think about it. I didn't look it up, but I had to think. I think that was it. Yeah. And they just seemed like a real like generic like 70s band. They seemed like an authentic band that would have existed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just I really like Almost Famous. When initially seeing it, I thought it was okay, and just the more I see it, I just realize how it's more of a look into the journalism, the world of journalism, which they're always interesting tales to tell. Good movies. Philip Seymour Hoffman as the kid's kind of like
Editor.
he's like boss and editor, yeah, and he always has good information for him and good advice to give him. It's a great great but small Philip Seymour Hoffman role.
Yes, Philip
Yeah.
Seymour Hoffman. I just rewatched Boogie Nights last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Or 2 weekends ago, but yeah. Couldn't remember who he was. Had to pause the movie and IMDb it.
You know who Phil Seymour Hoffman was?
As soon as it was one of those things, we couldn't think of his name.
Oh, okay,
And
and
then,
it's
yeah.
such a bummer that he's gone. He's absolutely one of the best
Another
of our time.
well-loved actor that just played the biggest pieces of shit in a lot of movies.
Yeah, for the most. Have you seen The Master?
No.
Hit that one go, and him and Joaquin, and he's like kind of a cult leader. You'll that's yeah. Watch The Master, man, and he's fantastic. I still have some blind spots in Philip Seymour Hoffman movies, but yeah, dude, he's fantastic. Um, he's apparently played you might have seen it. He played a bad guy in one of the Mission Impossible movies apparently, and
I haven't seen
people
those
always talk about
movies.
how good of people talk about how good of a villain he was and how scary he was. He just seems like someone that could have done anything. It's super embarrassing, but like my first time remembering seeing him and him getting in my mind was fucking Along Came Polly, where he has that scene where he just talking about how he sharted and he had to leave the party. So it's so weird, and then realize like, oh, this dude's like one of the best actors we have. He is by far one of my favorites, and yeah, this movie's just I don't know. This was like a special movie. I'm a big rock. We're both big rock and roll guys. It's like a big rock and roll movie. I love the time it's set in like I guess mid or late '70s. So it was just a cool look, and I forgot that there's a cameo by Mark Maron. Mark Maron's in this movie.
He is.
Yeah, and that's where "Lock the Gates" come from. The audio from the beginning of WTF. That's one of his lines in Almost Famous.
Okay,
I guess this would.
think I can picture that right now. All right,
Yeah,
well, I
I
have The
guess
Master officially on my IMDb watch list now.
Yeah, do it, dude. It's fantastic. It's probably one of if not my favorite PTA movies. Um, I guess we could probably say this is Kate Kate Hudson's top moment, top movie for sure. I'd say
Yeah.
she's in this as Penny Lane. Your boy Jay Bruchel's in this too. He's like my favorite small character. He's the guy I would be just obsessing over how Led Zeppelin was just in the hallway and how they they were just right here. They were right in front of me. They walked by. They touched this doorknob. That would be me. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Jay Baruchel, especially ever
Great.
since Goon.
This was I love the end of Almost Famous where Billy Crudup as the rock star shows up at William's house. Francis McDermott, of course, lets him in, and he finally gets the interview he's been waiting for all along in his own room. And I love just the line. He starts the interview. He asks him what he loves about rock and roll. He just answers to start everything. Almost Famous is a great road trip movie, and that's why it's my number one.
I gotta say the best scene in the movie is when he's on the rooftop at the party
course.
on acid. I am a
Absolutely.
golden god. You can tell
Yeah,
the Rolling Stone magazine my last words were, I'm on drugs.
It's another one I have to rewatch. It's been a couple years. It's such a good movie. And then the plane crash as they're just revealing truths to each other in the band. Now it seems like there's no other choice but to like break up. Oh, it was fantastic. That's a great movie. And just as I grew up and seen it more and more, I just realized how it wasn't just like all right. It was a super solid movie. And when I thought of road trip movies, this was one of the first ones that came to mind. And since I didn't put any of our space exploration movies on here, will have to do as Earth's #1 road trip movie, in my opinion.
And for your favorite Kate Hudson movie, it just edges out How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Hey, no, I didn't say that. All right, guys, this has been Exit Music for a Film. This has been our top road trip movies. Follow us on Instagram at Exit Music for a Film podcast. Let us know what you think about road trip movies, anything we might have missed out on. I'm sure there certainly may be something. All right, for Exit Music for a Film podcast, I'll try this again. Guys, keep going to the movies, or keep seeing movies. Look, I fucked it up.